will not take much time. It is very easy. So you see there is two motor. One motor is here, one motor is outside. For air, this is for, if you have a torch for this thing, you can see inside you have a V-welt. Have you seen? V-welt is there inside. V-welt is there, no? So that V-welt is operating this one. And this is the air resistor. As you can see, so on board ship you have to clean this one. Understood? If bad air shoot will come, bad burning, so here you will shoot will deposit. So sometimes you have to clean for inspection. Okay. And the V-welt also sometimes you have to check. Have a look. Go. And if you finish, then we go for pressure check.
Two kind of boilers as we talked before. One is pressure jet type. Would be atomized by air or by steam. Some big ships they have with atomization of the steam, yeah, for a bigger capacity. But rather than if it is a small boiler, you will find with air jet type, yeah, pressure type burner. But here is a rotary cap. Also in most container ship you will find this. I have been working also on this kind of boiler, yeah, burner. So this is a rotary cap type burner. How it is working, I will tell you the principles, and if you have any questions, we will ask. So now it's swing out, yeah. So they already swing out. So as you see on board also the same. For cleaning, for maintenance, you can swing out, check what you need to check, and after you can put back and start the boiler. So as we talked before, always to the burner to work, you need air and fuel. So the principle is more or less the same. So here you have the draft fan. As you see the other side, this is the main draft fan. But for a rotary cap type burner, you need additional primary air fan. So you can see here inside, yeah. Everyone can see inside. When I rotate, it's rotating, yeah. This is belt connected. Can you see? Can you see? You can see, yeah. This is a belt driven. So now I am explaining, yeah. You don't need to explain. So the main draft fan is this one. So it's giving the enough air for burning your fuel. So how is the principle is working? So this one is supplying air for the primary. The primary have additional fan. Yeah, I mean if you can see here, there are the nozzles which are air is passing out, and fuel will come here. If you can see here, there is a hose. The fuel will be supplied with the low pressure, yeah. So when the rotor cap is running, it's atomizing. The purpose of this rotor cap is to atomize the fuel for ignition. But still you need secondary air. If you can see here the swirler, yeah, the air through here is, after you have a primary flame, this has to be pushed forward to the furnace to have a proper heat transfer, yeah. So for ignition, you have here the diesel oil supply and the ignition transformer. This is, you see the danger, high voltage. This is very high voltage, so on board don't try to manipulate this device. For testing and everything, you just no need to touch some parts here in the. You just close. Never and ever test in this mode, yeah, to see the sparks or something like this. You need to keep swing. You need to assemble all, and you make with the proper operation automatically or manual operation. As you can see here, you have the ignition electrodes and a diesel oil supply for ignition purpose. Yeah, as I told you, it's the same like what we saw there. Always, all the boilers, when it's starting for 1 minute, it will make fully purging. The damper will, you can see from the other side, there are a damper, yeah, which is opening the air fully for purging. And after 60 seconds, it will come. And sometimes if you cannot clean by soft metal, you need to open here and take out the rotor cap. Also here you have one Allen key. So you open this one clean properly. But very important thing, you need to adjust the clearance. Yeah, this is very important. This one you check on the instruction manual. This one must be about 1.5 or something. You check your manual because it's depending. One will be big or smaller. I am telling just my experience. So about 1.5 to 2 millimeter. I mean from this face to, you just check by caliper. And one more thing, you can see one wire here, yeah? One hose. And this is connected to here, the pressure switch. Here we have, this one is disconnected unfortunately, but what is the purpose of this one? In case of any failure of your belt, yeah? So you will have a less pressure, and this pressure switch will give you signal for alarm for the controller. So you know there is something wrong, so you go to check, open the everything and check your belts and all necessary bearings, can be bearing seals. So you will check, it's indication for you. Also for the secondary, I mean for the main draft fan you have also another one. So if you have any failure or something motor, this one failure, you will come to know by the alarm from the pressure switch.
Yes. So generally this, yeah, the gas will go inside, yeah. The gas will go inside. As you can see here, these are the tubes, smoke tubes. The gas will go inside, we circulate back from lower part and going back to the upper part. And behind this is the water, yeah. So the tubes are heating the water. Through the tubes there is smoke, smoke tube type, yeah. So all the safeties are on the top also, yeah. The gauge, steam pressure gauge, and then you have a remote digital indicator, pressure transmitter, and then you have safety high pressure cut out also, yeah. And side glass is another side also. You have side glass, two side glass. These are for safety. Where is the water? Huh?
So one more thing which I want to tell you here, you have a flame eye. Yeah? Always you need to, in the maintenance you need to clean always before you operate. This is the flame eye. So once the flame is established, so this one is giving signal for the controller. So it will open the damper for you, depending on the load, he will adjust, otherwise it will come alarm, flame failure alarm. In this case, sometimes it will come because this is dirty, yeah? Not your burner. So otherwise if coming, also you need to check the clearance and everything. This one must be, you check like this one, yeah? If the belt is broken, you cannot...
What was the regulator?
Sorry? Here, this one. Here you coming the diesel. Normally it's controlled by solenoid, yeah? This line, diesel oil line. And here is the high volt, you see here? So you have here the sparks. Also one very important thing, always you need to adjust spark distances, yeah? Normally it must be about maximum 3-4 millimeters. But still it depends, always you need to, which I tell you is just an example. So still you need to check by the instruction manual. How much I think it's swirling.
Yes.
That means it's atomizing, yeah? So it will have a more surface area to catch a fire. But for this one you need an igniter. This is a spark igniter through additional diesel oil. So not only coming, this one is